All right, everybody, welcome to the Chokehold Chat. This is UFC Noche Aftermath, the thoughts on where the fighters go from here and what I think the next matchup should be, right? So let's just get into it right away from the top to the bottom, right? UFC Noche was great. San Antonio crowd was great. Me and my wife had originally planned to go to San Antonio to this card, so it kind of sucks to see the environment so raucous and stuff. It's like, man, I should have been there, but great city for fights. It's really awesome. Happy for Diego Lopez, sad for Jean Silva. Like I said, I liked them both. I think whatever the outcome was, I was gonna feel conflicted. Crazy pace. The first round was pretty wild. Jean throws a spinning back kick with no setup and basically gives Diego the back, and Diego just rides him on mount, and then on the back with both hooks in, and just those 12-6 elbows are a game changer and just lumps him up pretty bad. I thought that it was going to zap Jean's energy, but Jean is supremely conditioned, as we can all tell. He comes out in the second round, and I was scared for Diego. He was boxing his ears off. I thought that he was going to get knocked out. Got overly aggressive, and Diego Lopez just times a beautiful back spinning elbow and TKOs Jean Silva. And Jean kind of got up and protested the stoppage, but he got up and he was wobbled. I think it was a good stoppage. He was kind of holding the fence and stuff, and yeah, that's just how it goes. I think those guys fight each other 10 times. I think it's 50-50 most of the time. Or yeah, it's a toss-up. Those guys were razor thin in terms of the skill level, the dog, the just razor close, excellent matchmaking. Anyway, so for Diego, I think he needs one more to get back to the title, at most two. I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch with Volk. It was a close fight. It was an entertaining fight. But I think he needs one more fight before then. I think you got to give him Movsar and let him get a chance to redeem himself, especially because Movsar pulled out with an injury, so we don't know how long he's going to be out. Hopefully not too much longer, so I guess it depends on that timetable. But even though Movsar is ranked #1 currently on the UFC rankings, I don't think that he's going to get a title shot just kind of sitting idly by. The same thing with Shavkat at welterweight. I think if you pull out of a fight with an injury with the champ, you probably have to fight another one just to get back. And you got to remind people who you are. You can't be gone for a year, 2 years, and then get the title. But also, things do change. It's more of a timeline issue. If the UFC doesn't have any contenders, if somebody else gets hurt or whatever, they'll throw Movsar in there. They'll throw Shavkat in there for a title shot. So, but as of now, I think you do Diego Lopez and Movsar, or you do Diego and Yair, and then see how it shakes out. And yeah, because Yair calling for a title shot right now too is just ridiculous. You don't beat Patricio Pitbull, who has one win in the UFC, after you beat him, and then you get a title shot. It's ridiculous. So him calling for it. And then also too, his fight with Volk wasn't close at all. Volk dog walked him. So or do Diego Lopez and Aljamain. Aljamain's calling for a title shot too, but I think he needs one more. Excuse me. And then for Jean Silva, give him Pitbull. Give him Pitbull. Give him Josh Emmett. Give him Arnold Allen. All those matchups would be great. I would actually really like to see Jean Silva, Josh Emmett, or Jean Silva, Arnold Allen. Not too much of a step back. He's still got a lot of potential. He's fairly young to the UFC. He just got caught. I still think that he's a title contender, and I think he should fight. He should still fight up in the rankings. That Josh Emmett is ranked above him, and so is Arnold Allen. But I don't think he loses too much stock with a loss to Diego Lopez. Diego just fought for the title. He's elite. They're both elite. So that's what I think about the main event. I mean, you guys can let me know if you think anything different. been getting some people commenting and liking the videos and stuff, so that's been pretty cool. No UFC this weekend. Got to wait for Australia, but anyways, Rob Font, David Martinez. I do remember David Martinez now. It's just, he doesn't fight very often. And anyways, so Martinez gets a win over Font and kind of propels himself into like the top 10. He'll probably be ranked in the top 10 after this. But poor Rob Font, man. He's getting up there. He's taking a lot of damage. I remember just a couple fights where I've seen him just take damage. I think they should probably do like a Rob Font, Marcus McGee. That would be cool. Or Vinicius or Kyler Phillips or just somebody like that. I hate to do that to him, but that's how the game goes. You got to pass the baton if you want to stay in there. When you're getting older, if you're not going to retire, you're going to have to, you're not moving up, you're moving down, and they got to get some of these young guys. Marcus McGee isn't necessarily young, but he's new to the UFC, and they gave him Petr Yan and as tough, so I think he could, prove himself versus Rob Font, or Rob Font could style on him and use the jab and, win a decision. David Martinez, on the other hand, I would love to see him versus the loser of Marlon and Zahabi. I think that would be a good one, or maybe even Davison, Figgy, Martinez and Figgy. That's a pretty good one. Song Yadong, that's a good one. But yeah, I think we'll just kind of see how it goes. 135, I think Merab's got a stranglehold on this division for a while, so I don't see anybody beating him. But yeah, good performance from him. He looked good. I think he stole the fight kind of with the last round, though. He dropped him. It was pretty close, and then he stole it. It was a very nice performance, especially in front of the Mexican crowd. Going 5-0, it's pretty awesome. Him being the last Mexican fighter. And then the third fight down, we'll just do that one because with Calvin Gastelum, like, his career's a mess, and Stoltzfus will probably fight, I don't know, somebody else that's outside the top 15, and so I'll just go over the two lightweight fights, and then that'll be it. But Rafa Garcia beats Jared Gordon, back and forth fight, beats him in the third round, and Jared Gordon took a beating at the end there. I would probably like to see him get some time off. The same thing with the Alex Hernandez and Diego Fajeda fight. Like, I already made a video on it. That referee let Fajeda get knocked out like a few times with that ground and pound. It was a horrible stoppage. So I think Jared needs to take some time off. I think Fajeda needs to take some time off. And I don't think that they fought each other. So I would probably do Fajeda and Gordon in probably like 8 months, 6 months after they can clear concussion like protocol and stuff. And, they're both, you know what? I think he has a loss to Fajeda in the first round. Well, do a rematch. That's not too bad. Rematch? Yeah. Rematch Fajeda and Gordon, 8 months' time. Give him some rest. Alex Hernandez, surprised me. 2 victories in, pretty short amount of time. Rafa Garcia, they're both in the lightweight division, and they're both kind of hovering around the edge there. You could probably give Rafa Garcia like Ruffy or, Grant Dawson. But you know what, Dawson, I want to see him fight somebody way higher. Why isn't he fighting Gamrot? Gamrot's calling out Benoit Saint Denis. Gamrot versus Dawson, the wrestling, that's much better a matchup. But, it's going to be hard to crack into that top 15 for Hernandez or for Rafa Garcia. But, yeah, Hernandez, maybe even a Ruffy. That would be pretty good. But, let me know what you guys think. I don't really have too many thoughts on it besides the matchups for the first, for the main event, really, because that's kind of the fight that had the most kind of repercussions, the most implications behind it. But these other fights is kind of we'll see what happens with a lot of these guys. I just really enjoyed the card. kind of sucks to see a lot of the MMA media covering boxing and stuff. And, you know, I'll talk about boxing here and there, but it's just like, man, MMA, I'm always reminded, you know, every once in a while, more often than not, I'm reminded why I fell in love with the sport when I was a kid, because just the excitement, the drama, the implications, the future, the, you know, the past, it's great. And the San Antonio card really reminded me of that. It was very fun to watch. So I'm looking forward to next week's fights on the 27th. And also, you know, I'll probably upload something talking about the World Wrestling Championships. I've been watching some of that. I'm going to be trying to get some of my fix with fighting or wrestling or jiu-jitsu or whatever, and I'll upload something and talk to you guys about, because that's all I watch. So that's what I'll be watching. Anyways, I appreciate talking to you guys. Hopefully you appreciate the content, and let me know what you think about the UFC Noche Aftermath. And that's it, guys. Bye-bye.